Well, I got 1 o'clock. We can get going. Hey, everybody, Denny Grimes, Mastery of Real Estate, and glad you're here. We're going to go through our Mastery role play using question-based listing enhanced conversations. I appreciate you all being on, and welcome to you guys on Facebook Live too. So I don't know if there's a way you can participate in Facebook Live with us. However, if you want to join us, we're happy to give you a link. And again, today's the 17th of August, and the world is still kind of topsy-turvy, going crazy. What will be next? So I want to welcome Sonny, my co-host, and John will be here, probably here. Yeah, John, you there? Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm here.
So we have some things to discuss today, and we're going to go through. And right now, I want you all to give your attention to James. James is in the finals of the script off in Phoenix today, and so we want to give him some good luck and some good vibes going your way. In fact, we'll probably we'll let him go first on a role play. He's been on these calls now for the better part of a year. He calls himself the Little Denny, which is kind of cool. It goes off the joke I talk about me listening to Zig Ziglar. And what he's done is he's kind of like mastered the idea of asking questions. And so he has 2 minutes. So Sonny, if you'll set the timer, and if somebody, and the rest of you guys will be judges. So Jill, thanks for having your camera on. If you can have your cameras on, that'd be awesome. So Jill, I'm going to let you decide on what objection you would like to give him, and you're going to be the seller or buyer that he's role playing with. So James, just let me ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 meaning, hey, Jill, give me a marshmallow, or 10, hey, look, 10 means I'm Rambo. What do you want?
Let's do 7.5.
Oh, he's starting out slow. Okay.
Yeah, let's not go
Jill,
for the throat.
Jill, do you want to be a buyer or seller? And what is your objection? And Sonny, are you ready with the timer? Okay, don't start the timer till I say go. So Jill, unmute yourself.
There we go.
And the rest of you guys are judges. So when we're done, I'll have you vote on a scale of 1 to 5. 5 is be a perfect score, something that maybe I wish I ever had in high school, and a 1 is not so good. Okay, so Jill, what are you, a buyer or seller?
I'll be a seller.
All right, and your objection is, and by the way, this I'm sure will be at the table, not on the phone, so let's just take that. And what is the objection, Jill?
How about I would like to list my house higher than he's suggesting? Will that work?
Okay, let's assuming now that you've done a market analysis, you're in Scottsdale or Arizona area, so you're going to probably say, well, probably around 600. And Jill wants to list higher. Ready for the timer, Sonny? 2 minutes, go.
Hi, Jill. Well, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me today. Let me ask you, other than the price of the house, is there any reason why you wouldn't sign with me today to move forward with getting your house listed?
No, as long as you can, show me that you're going to do some decent marketing and not just sit and do nothing.
Oh, no, Jill. We do open houses. We do marketing. We have multi-level promotions. We do all kinds of things that's going to get your home the maximum amount of exposure that we can get for it. But more importantly, I think your idea of pricing the home a little high is a great idea. But let me ask you this. What are we going to do if the market says no to the price we put it at?
I mean, there's all these people coming from California. So I think eventually if I wait, I'll be able to get the 650 that I want.
Okay, so is there any particular reason why you want to sell then? If you're willing to wait to sell to try to get your price, let me ask you this. What are we going to do if the market turns? Right now, we've got a really hot seller's market, but what if the market shifts?
Well, I mean, I'm not in a rush, so I can just wait, and I don't have to be in my new place until the end of the year, so I don't mind if it takes a while.
Well, the end of the year, it's August, so we've only got 4 months. So that's kind of a tight timeline when you really think about it by the time we get it listed and sold. So let me ask you this. Do you feel that at that price, we'll be able to sell quickly?
I mean, there was something down the street that was kind of similar that sold for $640. So I figured, 650 seems a good place.
Okay, we could certainly do that. Was it the same square footage, same type of home as you have?
I mean, it was a little bit bigger, but I didn't think 500 square feet mattered too much.
Okay. Well, whenever we list any home, there's always going to be one of 3 outcomes. It's either going to get no showings, and of course, no offers, or we're going to get a lot of showings, but we're not going to get any offers, or of course, the home is going to sell.
2 minutes, time's up. All right, let's give him a ping. Nice job. He went first. Good job, James. Way to get out of the gate. Jill, you were exactly a 7.5. So on the Richter scale. So guys, let's open up. Go ahead and put in the chat. This is a little contest for James because he's got a script off. If he came in late, number 1 to 5. 1 is not good. A 5 is perfect on how you would be the judge on him handling that objection. So let's go ahead real quick. You got access to the chat. Let's put some numbers in there and let's see what kind of a judge group we have today. Oh, okay. Thanks so much. Okay, they're coming in. Nice job. Hi, Yvonne. 4, 4, 5.
Thank you, Julie. Nice.
So you're doing pretty good. This is going to be a good confidence builder. Nice job. Another 5. Some people are going to be getting on a little late. I don't know. You'll see. We'll have some fun with this. All right. Well, come on, you guys. So obviously you did pretty good on that. The judge gave you a 4 or 5. And so let's go back and replay that. Here's something I want you guys to understand. I might have said this last week. I might have said it sometime when you've been on the call before. Sellers don't go to Barnes & Noble, if they're even in business anymore, and get a book on seller objections, how to state a seller objection, how to practice delivering the objection you have. And here are the 10 most common objections sellers or buyers have. They're just, when they have an objection, they are expressing a feeling or concern. So let me ask you guys, is it possible for us to anticipate the top 5, the top 10, the top 15 potential objections you can get from a rational buyer or seller? And that would be a big fat yes, right?
Yep.
So let's say if you want to start building a strong repertoire of conversations, what you want to do, and they're out there, you can Google them. We can come up with a list right away. In fact, I'll probably do that and add it to my YouTube channel. And maybe how to handle the top 5 seller or buyer objections. If you know what a high probability of what you're going to get, is it possible you guys could prepare for that and always be better prepared than the client? And that would be a yes. So them basically right now, a seller wanting it to list higher than market value, it's probably a realistic top 5er. So let's go ahead and dissect that a little bit. James, any comment on what you did? And then John, my co-host from Naples, he'll actually give you some feedback as well for everyone, and we can go at it again with another participant. So James, any comments?
I think it went pretty well. I think I stayed with listening based. The one thing I think I kind of did was I might have deviated from the pricing a little bit and not stayed focused on that. Actually threw a couple of other objections on the table that kind of diverted me a little bit. But so maybe I didn't do a great enough job of isolating the one price issue as the only issue.
Yeah, good observation. Again, when we talk about question-based listing enhanced, what I do and during a role play, and even when I'm having a conversation with a client, I don't do that as much anymore, but I have conversations with agents who have conversations with clients, and I role play with them. I'm writing stuff down. So when you notice you did go and ask, basically, here's the model, you guys. You've seen it before. Hey, Mark, good to see you on the call. Acknowledge, isolate, address, and close. And so the isolation question is other than that. And so he asked that question, and then she kind of answered it and went into a different direction and mentioned something else. Again, what are the rules for sellers and buyers? Anybody know? You can say, what are the rules for sellers and buyers that we're talking to? It's kind of like playing the Patriots. They don't have any rules. They make their own rules up, right? They will inflate the balls any way they want to. It's like playing against the Patriots. So I think it is
completely unfair from somebody who is now an official Tom Brady junkie.
Yeah, well, exactly. So what's interesting is, okay, so you did follow the model other than that. And she threw a curveball. My 2 cents, and I'll let John, you'll go next, then we'll go on to the next role play. How did you feel with the time frame? Did you feel like, James, the 2 minutes was a decent amount of time? James, that's to you.
Oh, yeah, I think I needed another minute or more probably to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll. I think I was still on the outside a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. When I was doing the role play competition, I got to the semifinals and almost got to the finals. They were only giving us 1 minute. In 1 minute, it is really not a great length of time to isolate and get to the center of the objection, or center of the Tootsie Pop, as James was saying, with questions. So here's what I've got down. Number one, when somebody wants to list higher, then I know I set the stage 600. Always, when there's a number involved, rule number one is always quantify. Now, James did not ask how much she wanted to list for. Eventually, she volunteered, I want to list for 650. So you want to find out how much, number one. Number two is, I wrote down, he did a good job of going to the greater pain. And then he did an awesome job of going to the 3 outcomes. So let me give you a warning about the 3 outcomes. If you don't have this sheet, just email us at Coach Denny Grimes at Gmail. We'll give you the sheet. Let me get to it real fast. It's important, I think, the words are important here. Here it is right here. Maybe hard to read. You said showings and no offers, all right? And it really isn't that. I want you to understand it's really low to no showings. That word low is really important because you may have a listing out there that has 2 or 3 showings and you can't say there's no showings. Or say, well, we had 3 showings, but it's on the market since like 89. They've had showings. So the words are important. You had the order right. Just make sure you get the words. And then the property has showings, not a lot of showings, just has showings and no offers, or maybe a low one, or it sells. And so just that little fine point on the outcomes, I think would be awesome. And the last point I'm going to bring up is in my philosophy, going back to mindset, and I'll give it to you, John. If I had to role play this is the thing that I would do. Now, maybe you don't want to do it on your role play, James, today, I don't know. But when Jill said, I want to listen, Jill said, I want to listen a little bit higher. I'd have said, okay, well, how much higher? And Jill, you would have said what?
650.
So, all right. So are you saying right now, if we list your home today at 650, you're ready to move forward and sign a listing agreement with me today? Is that true?
Yes.
I would get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's closed. Now let's go back. And then you had all the right ingredients to make the souffle. Well, let me have, thanks so much, knuckle bump. Okay, so we're moving forward. What will you do if the market says no? So those were my blinks on it. So John, before we go to the next one, and you can call out whoever you want to role play unless there's a volunteer. What were your blinks?
You know, I would have, when he went into the 3 options or the 3 outcomes, I would have just shortened it and said, you know, Jill, great. Let's put your property on at 650. And if the market says no, are you willing to price it accordingly in 30 days? We'll give you 100% for the first 30 days. If the market says no, we make the adjustment. Is that fair?
Yeah. So you
and she just said yes.
Yeah.
In other words, on the spot. So
you're going to close. You're going to close for the listing. So any thoughts on that, you guys, before we go again? We can take the same objection. Who would like to run it and be the agent? We'll give you 3 minutes this time. Jill, nice job. And John, pick out somebody who wants to be the agent and somebody who wants to be the seller. 3 minutes on the role play.
All right. Seeing as we have no volunteers, who's looking real chipper today? Yvonne
I'll be the seller. I'm kind of out of practice.
Whoa, wait a minute. We've got a blast from the past. You're kind of like with your beard and your cap on and whatever. Jeff, how you doing, man? Honorary life member. All right. So you're going to be the seller?
I'm going to be I'm out of practice. I want to be the seller.
Okay. So Jeffrey wants the easy route. Yeah. So Yvonne, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. And Sonny, you've got the timer, right?
And what's our objection?
Yeah.
Objection, Yvonne, we'll do the same thing again if you want to. That is, you're at the table and you want to list your house higher. Your analysis said, hey, past sales were at 600 and you want to list it higher. How high up you want to list is up to you. 3 minutes, go.
Okay. Well, thank you for sitting down and talking to me today about listing your home. So you mentioned you wanted to list it higher. At what price do you want to list at?
I think somewhere closer to 650 makes more sense right now.
Okay. So if we were to agree to list your home at 650 today, would you be ready to list with me?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm close. I'm just not quite sure yet.
Okay. Well, what other than the price at 650, what other questions maybe do you have, or information I haven't answered for you yet?
Well, I'm concerned about what your commission is going to be.
Okay.
No one said it'd be easy, Yvonne.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so are you more concerned about the commission, or are you concerned about what you're going to net at the end of the day?
Well, obviously the net at the end of the day is, how much money I get in my pocket, but doesn't the commission directly reflect that?
Yeah, so
Take your time. You're all right. You're all right. This is how we learn, you guys. You're doing great. Don't worry. The timer's still running. Don't feel the pressure.
Well, the commission, I really want to go back to all the different things that we do to market your property, because my goal is to get you the most amount of money at the end of the day. So is it really the commission that you're worried about, or is it part of the plan that I outlined on how I'm going to sell your property for the most amount of money?
No, Yvonne, I think your plan looks great. I feel like, your plan works well. I was just curious what your commission was.
Well, my commission is 3%. Does it work for you?
Yeah, that works. I think 2.5 would be better, but I think you got a good plan there.
Okay, awesome. So if we agree to list at 650 today, are you ready to list your home with me?
Yeah, I think if you think we can get it 650, I'm ready to go.
Okay. If the market were to say no to that price within the first 30 days, would you be really willing to reconsider and lower that price?
I mean, obviously that's going to cost me money. Would you be willing to lower your commission a little bit if you can't give me 650?
3 minutes.
3 minutes goes by really fast. I can see I can see the perspiration on your forehead. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Yvonne. I just
I need it.
Now, gang, let me ask you this. Is commission maybe in the top 50 objections you might get from a seller?
Yes.
Might be in the top 3.
Yeah, maybe in the top 1, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting. So Yvonne, you got a little bit, kind of turned around on him. And I think Jeff's done this enough. I think he pulled a little trick on you. And I think I know why. You went right for the close. However, you missed a step. What step did she miss, Jeff?
I think she was, she acknowledged it and she tried to address it, but she did a little bit of isolating. She did the other than on the original one. But once I threw the commission out, I think isolating and kind of understanding what was important about the commission, I think you were just trying to close on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense.
What happened is, this is the instant replay. She said, okay, if we were to list your home at 650, you're ready to go forward today. And then I think, if I remember right, you said, well, you also have the commission. So I don't know. Then that's the importance, you guys, of making sure you drill down enough to isolate. So I don't remember exactly the word for word situation. However, for example, just replaying this. So Jeff, you want your home at 650, right? So,
yes.
So if we were to list at 650, is there anything else that would prevent us from doing business today?
Well, yeah, I mean, my only other concern would be what's your commission rate?
Now it's coming out, right? I've played it just like you did there, Yvonne. Okay, now I understand that. So now you've got to go back and make sure. So, okay, so now you went 650 and you're concerned about the fee. Other than that, is there anything else that's going to stop us from doing business today?
No.
Okay, and so help me understand, what commission are you looking for?
Well, what's your commission?
Okay, my commission is, okay, so this is always a little bit, I'm just going to say X.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to another agent and theirs was like, about a percent lower than that. And it seemed like they had a pretty good plan. I mean, I like everything you brought to me today, but at the end of the day, saving $5,000 makes sense.
Okay, I understand. So let me ask you this question though. Would you rather save $5,000 or make $5,000?
I'd rather make $5,000.
So then are you saying then if we listen to 650, so we're going to knuckle bump right there. We've already got that settled. Then would you agree that what you walk away with at the end of the transaction is more important than what you pay?
Absolutely.
All right. So if I can demonstrate that we could maybe put more money in your pocket, then the commission becomes irrelevant. True?
Yeah. How are you going to do that?
Well, I'm happy to show you. So, I mean, I went through some other things here. So then at that point in time, and we can do it if you want to. And you're not really timing me. I'm trying to stay with
No, we don't need to.
Yeah. So you would have to show them the value proposition, and we have a pricing graph. However, the interesting thing here is, and when agents start to get a little bit flustered and confused, Yvonne, you found yourself doing this a little bit. You start throwing all the stuff you do and all the marketing we do, and you think that maybe we'll get the teeter-totter going. We'll just overwhelm them with stuff and we trust something sticks on the wall. So there's a couple. Let's take this. We can make it another role play. And John, let's get some volunteers, or you can kind of pick somebody out if you want. And if you can't get on camera, that'd be awesome. It's the only way you can play is being on camera. There's a couple textbook ways of selling value, and let's make it question based. So do we have any volunteers who would like to be the agent? And we'll have another seller taking up the issue like somebody else said they would do it for 1% less than you. I'm
gonna call on Al Baxter to be the seller.
Oh, there's a cranky guy. All right, Al.
All right. Al's going to be our seller, and Jeffrey Pennington's going to be the agent.
All right, now you're broken back in, Jeff. Okay.
Whoa.
All right.
Don't ever say you're out of practice.
Sonny, 3 minutes, please.
Is Al Baxter there?
Yes.
Here.
Hello, Al.
Good morning.
So here you go. Al says to you, Jeff, well, all right, we're okay at 650. How are the other agents? And they do it for 1% less.
So Al, other than being able to lower my commission 1%, is there any other reason that you wouldn't want to list with me right now?
No, I think we negotiated what we list the property for, so that would be the main thing, the commission.
No, I completely understand. Al, I always want to get the best overall value out of any major purchase I make. And obviously selling your house is one of the biggest you'll ever do. Let me ask you this. At the end of the day, if you saw more value and actually more money in your pocket, would that be more important than what you actually pay for the commission?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the objection is to get the most out of the property. But the thing is my neighbor next door, he sold his house just recently, and he paid that agent 5% commission. The guy down the street, he actually paid less than that.
I completely understand, and I guess to rephrase my question a little bit. You obviously want to pay the lowest amount of commission that you can and ultimately get the most amount of money in your pocket, right?
Correct.
So if I could show you how we could put more money in your pocket at my commission rate and get your house sold faster and get you on your way to Florida, would it make sense to look at what I can offer you?
Well, it gets to a point where if I was to sell the house myself, I may not get quite as much for it, but I can also save myself $30 overall in commission, potentially.
You know, Al, that's a great point. And I you know, according to the National Association of Realtors, here's some statistics on the difference from selling the house yourself versus having a professional agent like me sell it for you. As you can see, it's a substantial difference in price. Let me ask you this. If I can show you how I can actually not only get your house sold on time, but make you more money in your pocket, so that working with me is going to not only save you money, but it's actually going to make you money. Would it make sense to look at that?
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing what you have to offer, sure.
All right,
You're at the
fantastic.
table. You're at the table. How would you do it?
I'd pull out Denny's book.
Yeah, phone a friend.
Yeah, you know, I got to this point and then I was kind of like, what do you do there other than go back and reiterate your value? And that's tough right there. At that point, I'm kind of stuck.
All right. So we're probably at 3 minutes, right, Sonny?
Yeah.
So I think it's a valid question. So let's go ahead and go a little bit deeper in. John, any comments on that role play?
Well, Jeffrey, you did good getting put on the spot. Thanks for being a good sport. Couple
you.
questions that I wrote down that may have helped along the way. Al said a couple of his neighbors sold. Oh, great. Al, how much did they sell for? And from the other role plays, you would have found that they sold for 600, 615, 620. Great. So Al, if I can get you 650, isn't putting $30,000 extra in your pocket worth just a measly 1%?
Oh, that's perfect.
All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Now they're doing it on your own. There's so many analogies you can use. So Al, yeah, I can appreciate you want to do it on your own. That's awesome. Have you ever removed your own appendix?
No.
Do you cut your own hair? Does your wife bleach her
I
own
think
hair?
I tried that in high school.
Yeah, Flobies are out of style, right? So there's a reason people go to a professional for everything, from something as simple as getting your hair cut to as complicated as surgery. And then pause and just let them digest that.
Thanks for the reminder. That I missed that completely. And Denny's done the same one with painting your house, you know, getting your hair cut. You know, my wife's a hairstylist, and whenever I see my friends' roots looking really bad, I'm always like, you know, you should quit coloring your own hair and go see my wife.
Exactly. That's a great one to use, you know, and you can even compare it when you start talking about commission rates. You can say, you know, does your wife go to Roberts of Philadelphia or Supercuts to get her hair done?
Right. Well, here's the point, you guys. Good observation. Here's the point. I go back just on that, and Al was saying, well, my neighbor sold a house and only paid 5%, and this neighbor over here sold his house and they only paid 5%. And so a question that rolls around, and sometimes it's the questions that will stop them in their tracks. Well, I understand what they paid, but how much money did they leave on the table, Al? What did it cost them to save 1%? Just write these things down. These are thought-provoking questions that will stop them. Well, what do you mean? When you can ask, get them to stop and say, what do you mean? Now you've got them listening. Now you're having a conversation. You don't have to sell. Then the next logical point then would be, is the story. We've talked about it before. Everyone needs a story for the top 5 objections, right? Whatever they are, you're going to have a story. You're going to have a story of basically in this market. Sure, anyone can sell their house. I mean, anyone can give it away. However, they're attempting to put more money in their pocket. Let me tell you a story about a seller had a villa in the area in which we specialize in. They thought, I don't need you guys. I can sell it myself. They were ready to go at $230,000. They would have been happy with $230,000. I know that number sounds low to a lot of you, but anyway, this is a small little place. It's still a true story. When we studied the market, guess what? we listed the home, the villa, for $270,000 and sold for full price. Now, do you think that seller is happy that we ran into him? Now, how much money did they save by using us? Well, they didn't save any because they had to pay our fee, which was, $12,000. How much did they make? You see, there's a difference between what you save and what you make. So remember that point, you guys. So let's go into the next iteration of that one more time, then we'll go into the buyer side here. And any requests you have, just put it in the chat. This makes it fun. And now you're sitting there. How do you sell your value proposition? How do you demonstrate that you can get them more money? I've got Mark, you're laying low today. Mark's a good one to call too, John. He's not on camera. Maybe he's out jogging or on a listing appointment. Maybe you're on a listing appointment and you're showing your seller us talking, and so you're going to get the listing. That'd be awesome. If you get it, that's good. So let's go now. Let's take 3 minutes. You're at the table. Somebody said they could do it for 1% less. How do you demonstrate to them why you're worth 1% more? Who wants to volunteer for that one? Who's on camera?
We're going to volunteer here pretty soon. Marky does because she just put herself on camera.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back, Mo.
All right. So Marky, we're going to go, we'll keep it in-house. Marky's going to be the agent, overcoming Mo's objection of wanting to list it for 1% less.
All right. 3 minutes. Sunny, ready? Go.
All right, Mo, I can understand that, you'd want to go with an agent that would list for 1% less. Why is that important to you?
You're muted, Mo.
Mo, you're muted.
Lost your camera too. Well, we've got to that point already. Now
Okay.
you're saying, you've
Gotcha.
already asked the question, if I can demonstrate where you put more money in your pocket by using me. Yeah, all right. Tell me how you're going to put more money in my pocket. We're right there. So Mo, you're not. Julie, can you do it? Julie, can you be the seller?
Who do you want to be the seller, Denny?
I'm sorry?
Julie? Yeah, go for it, Julie.
Okay. I'll
So
do my
she's
best.
ready.
I have my son here, so I'm a little distracted.
No
Sorry.
worries.
Okay.
You just said to Marky, well, show me why I should pay you X% versus X minus 1%. So Marky, you're up.
Okay. Now, when the agent came in, did you ask for the discount?
When the agent came in, did I ask for the discount? What? I'm sorry, I got a little. I don't
Did you
understand
ask
the question.
did you ask for a discount in the commission?
Oh, yeah. And yeah, they're very willing to give me 1% less. And I love that idea because then I can save some money, which my budget's pretty tight in selling.
Right, I can understand that. Now, do you think one of the attributes of a great listing agent is to have a great negotiator?
Absolutely. That's a great point.
So not only in the,
No, ask,
having,
ask. You're doing great.
so is having a great negotiator negotiating for you important to you?
Good.
Absolutely.
I'll help you out. So let me ask you, when that agent was willing to cut their fee by 1%, what type of negotiating skills did they demonstrate?
Well, they didn't really demonstrate much. So, the important thing to me was that they were just automatically willing and happy to give me 1% less commission.
So understand this. So what would be more important, to getting the lowest commission possible, or you walking away with the most money possible?
Definitely walking away with the most money possible.
Do you know how many times an agent has to negotiate on your behalf in a transaction?
No, actually, I'm not familiar at all.
At least 3. So you've said
Okay.
you said you wanted somebody to be a strong negotiator. So imagine now they gave away 1/3 of their money just because you asked. You didn't like put them in a hammerlock or threaten to scratch their car or something, did you?
No.
Well, how quickly do you think you're going to give away your equity?
Well, I did not actually give that a thought.
Well, and that's only on one negotiation. They have to go to bat for you 3 different times. One is when the offer comes in. You know, there's
Okay.
agents out there that are more interested in getting a listing sold in order to make a car payment than really representing sellers. Would that be the type of agent you would want?
Absolutely. I had no idea that you would have to put in that much work. I just thought I could just put my house up for sale and have a buyer buy my house.
3 minutes.
I thought it was pretty simple.
It is simple, and it is simple. Anyone can sell their home in this market, yet the question is, how much money are you leaving on the table when you do that? I mean, you could cut your own hair, but you don't, because it will look like you did it. And if we go to a professional to get our nails done, or we go and get our hair done, how much more is important to work on a home that you have to hire a professional? And I didn't even, so that's probably up 3 minutes. So Mark, you were exactly on the right trail. So now again, it's a little bit different when they say that somebody offered for less. Question number 1 is going to be, all right, so you mean they came in higher and you asked them to lower the fee? Yeah, because they're feeling pretty good about themselves, right? I mean, holy cow, Julie, you're a better negotiator than them. That would be a little scary to me. That's one way you could do it. Another way, she feels good about the lower fee. Take it to the ridiculous. So let's use 5. We're at 6. They're at 5. Okay. Let me ask you, when they reduce the 1%, where's that 1% coming off? What they pay, what we call in our industry the co-broke, or off the listing side, Julie?
The listing side.
So, all right, now, what is the probability that the seller knows how that's going to happen?
None.
Probably none, which is exactly the answer you want. Well, so then you take them down the road. So they're taking 1% off. What if they're taking it off the buyer's side? Now your agent has put your home at a disadvantage. Is that the type of representation you want? You know, that's one of the reasons why when I'm talking to sellers and they're interviewing other agents, I don't even want to know who they're interviewing, because I'm not going to make any disparaging remarks about anybody. I'm talking, generally speaking, about agents and their way of representation. There's no personality associated with it. And the less I know about who they're interviewing, that's just me, the better, because it doesn't matter to me. One more point on this, going it to the ridiculous, taking it to the ridiculous. So you like that? I'm at 6 and they're at 5. Then what would you think, Julie? What would you feel if somebody came in and did it for 4? How would you like that?
Oh, I would love that.
How
That's
about
more money in my pocket.
How about for 3?
Even better.
How about for 2?
Okay. Now you have me thinking.
What if they offered to do it for free? Would that necessarily be a good idea for you?
Well, then it makes me wonder the value in their ability to negotiate for me or to represent me. Yeah.
Well, at some point in time, the whole purpose of reducing it to the ridiculous. We know how to do that with house payments, but you've got to take them to the extreme, because if they think lower is better, at what point is lower not better? And they'll come to the realization, like, you know, I guess that wouldn't make sense. Well, what if I said I'd sell your house for free? Would that be better? So
Maybe, yeah. No,
I
mean,
those are a couple of my comments. Now, a lot of you guys, particularly in bigger markets, you have what we call in the industry, reduced fee brokers, discount brokers, whatever. So how would you handle it? Anybody here advanced enough, because this is a little bit more advanced, of handling going up against a discount broker that is their fee. They did not lower their fee. That's just their model. That's a little bit different conversation. Is anyone, we don't even have to go down that road. Is anyone here on the call in a market that you have these so-called discount brokers? Raise your hand if you do. And we don't have a lot here. We have some, but we don't have a lot. Does anybody want to handle that role play for 3 minutes? John, you're gonna have to find some people.
I can be the seller.
Who? Oh yeah, Mari.
Yeah.
Brave soul, brave soul. All right, we need a seller now. We need a seller, John.
So I thought Marie
I
was
was
going to
gonna
be the seller. She's going to be the seller. She took the
She wants
easy
to be
road
the
this time.
seller. All right.
So let's, you know what? Jill had an easy one earlier. Let's put Jill on the hot seat.
Oh yeah, Jill. She hadn't been the agent yet. Way to volunteer, Jill. All right, Sonny, 3 minutes, please.
Okay.
So it's the same scenario, basically, hey, listen, and this is what Mari was saying. Well, I had a company come in and said they would do it for 4.
Okay.
Yeah. If you can lower your commission to 4, yeah. Can you do that?
Well, let me ask you this. How are they going to market your home?
I'm gonna give you, let's go back because it's just follow the model for everyone's benefit.
Okay.
Isolate.
Okay. Okay. So, am I understanding then that concern of yours is the commission involved in the transaction?
Right.
Okay. So then I have 2 questions for you. The first is, did they outline how they're going to market your home and expose it to the most people possible?
Yes, they did.
Okay. And what did they suggest that they would be doing?
Oh, the whole thing, putting the sign out there, putting on the MLS and receiving the offers and presenting all the offers. And they said that they can even get me more money than the asking price, and they're charging the flat commission.
Okay. So they're going to put it on the MLS. They're going to put the sign in the yard. What else are they going to do?
They're going to present all the offers to me, and on the services listed, they say they're going to negotiate also for me.
Okay. So as far as getting your home to the broadest possible buyer pool, they're going to be putting out a sign and putting it on the MLS. Are they going to do an open house for you?
No, they're not.
Okay. Are they going to go around your neighborhood and let your neighbors know that your home is coming on the market?
No.
Okay. Will they be putting it out there to the other agents in the brokerage, to other agents that they have connections to throughout the country who might have people moving to the area?
No, Jill, the houses are selling so quick in this hot market. I'm sure if you put your sign out there and you'll be able to sell it tomorrow. And that's what I want. Just sell it, it's a fast sale.
Okay. So you want to make sure you're getting a quick sale at the lowest price possible. What about the money that you're leaving on the table?
Well, I don't know what money will I leave on the table if the buyers are offering the price for my house. So that's what, I will know how much they're offering. I want at least the asking price.
Okay, you want at least the asking price. And you're looking to, am I correct in that you're looking to walk away with the most amount from the sale that you can?
Yeah.
The most amount in your pocket?
Yeah, of course. I want to put
minutes.
3 minutes. Woo! You're just now getting into surgery. So how'd you do, Jill?
I honestly didn't know where to go with the iBuyer. I have done 3 listing presentations, and that is not one that I have come up against yet. So I was kind of lost there. And I know that there's somewhere that shows iBuyer statistics, like what you walk away with versus using an agent, but I couldn't remember the numbers. So that's where I wanted to go, because I know the FSBO versus agent, but I didn't know the numbers to throw that out there. So honestly, I need help figuring out objection handling on that.
I don't know. That's an interesting thing. Does anyone know what those numbers are? Anybody read anything recently that's somewhat credible that has statistics on iBuyers or the discount broker, so to speak, versus traditional agents?
Redfin says in their advertising, they actually get more money for their listings.
And how do you think they define that, you guys?
Underpricing to start with.
That's not how they say it, though. How do they? Again, it's important that you slow down and understand the claims. If someone claims I get more money for our sellers, how are they measuring that?
Asking price versus price sold.
There you go. John was saying the same thing, but he was going one step further. Now, is it possible that every one of us on every listing we take for the rest of our lives can sell the property for more than asking price? Yes or no? In any market?
Absolutely.
Sure.
So is that really a good gauge of top market value?
What is?
Is that the question after the follow-up is that, Marie, is that a true gauge of highest market value if you get over your asking price? We could put your house on the market for $50,000. We'll sell it for way over asking price, but is that true top dollar?
Exactly the point, you guys. So, I mean, so as long as you understand that they're getting more for their sellers means they're probably underpricing. And again, you can kick back on this if you want. And John, that was a beautiful thought. Nice segue is that anything you list, you sell for over asking price. You did not do that. The market, you underestimated the market, and the market was stronger than you anticipated. So, I mean, it's not worth a medal on your chest. Now, it can be a strategy. I'm not saying it's not a strategy, but it doesn't make you Hercules or Superman because you sell something over asking price. So, anything else? So, how do we help Jill in this situation? Because you're going to have to deal with this. And we'll have time to do one from a buyer side. John, anybody, Jeff or Mark, any comments on this?
Hey, Denny, on the iBuyers, isn't their whole model too is volume? And so they're going to give you less because the whole model is a quick sale and low pricing so they can turn around and resell.
Well, we'll understand that. Now, I'll give Jill credit. Jill was onto something when she started going about the open house, the door knocking, letting the other agents know. And probably right there, as she's starting to sell her value, you want to connect the dots because sellers aren't going to necessarily know this, Jill. For example, well, let me ask you, you think the more people that know, that already like this area, that know about it, and all the more buyers that are exposed to your home, the better for you? Mm-hmm. And now go back to what James just mentioned. This is an avenue you can go is on a discount broker. So understand. So if they're charging less, let me ask you, and I'm going to go to your Mari. How much were they paying the buyer's agent?
2.5%.
And then they're only doing it for 1.5% themselves?
No, actually, they're going to charge me a flat fee of $4,900.
Okay, so that's what we call in the industry a high volume model. Do you know what that means?
No, please tell me.
All right. So when you go to, what's the nice restaurant you have in your town? If you want a really nice dinner, Italian or steak, where do you go?
Olive Garden.
Okay. All right. Well, that surprised me. Okay. I was thinking of a high-end steakhouse. So, but anyway, that's your answer. I got to go with it. Olive Garden. At least you didn't say Golden Corral. I don't know what I'd have done with Golden Corral. So Olive Garden. So would you consider them high volume or high quality?
I would say both. I mean, there is a lot of people going there, and the quality is good. That's why I go there.
All right, I got it. And so how would you compare that to McDonald's?
No, that is bad quality.
Well, that's high volume, right?
Yes.
So, and there's nothing wrong with that model. It really depends on your appetite. However, we have found if you want to put more money in your pocket, you want to go high quality. Because unless you tell me, look, I want to sell this fast. I don't care what I get. You know, you said you're happy with the asking price, right?
Yes.
My question to you is this. What if the market value is greater than the asking price? Do you want that money in your pocket, or do you want the buyer to have that instant equity?
No, I want that. If that's possible, yeah, I want to have that money in my pocket.
Well, can you see then by someone saying, okay, if someone said, okay, you want that number, I can get you that number real fast and charge you a less fee. That's not to your advantage when you can basically get more money. Let me tell you a story. Go right to the story. The stats would be good. I don't know the stats. Right? If you learn anything about today, identify what your top 5 objections are going to be from buyers or sellers and have a story, a true story. It doesn't have to be your story. It can be one you heard on this or somebody in your office or whatever. Let everything be true. Have the details like memorized and be able to deliver it in a believable format. You can't ha about it. I mean, it's a story. It can be somebody who tried to sell it themselves and didn't, and you stepped in. There could be a buyer that wanted to make a lowball offer and you stepped in and gave them the right advice and they got the house, etc. Have a story. Everybody likes stories. So I trust that helps. We kind of took that seller all the way through a lot of different objections you're going to get. So John, why don't we do a buyer one? And so find somebody that would like to give a buyer objection.
Liliana is going to be our buyer.
Liliana, hello there. Yep.
And welcome to Mo. Well, I think he's got his technical difficulties dealt with. Mo is going to be our agent.
Well, as the agent, you got, and the objection is going to be Liliana. You're at the table. So the objection is what?
You're asking me or giving me the objection?
No, you get to pick one. You're the buyer. What's your objection? I know you're from Canada. They don't have many objections up there, right? Eh?
Sorry, you guys caught me off guard. You have
The price is too high. I don't want to pay the asking price.
Okay, Mo, I don't want to pay the asking price.
So is that the only thing that's concerning you here, is not paying the asking price?
Yeah, that's my main concern.
All right, well, what are you willing to pay?
Well, my next door neighbors paid 10,000 less, so I'm willing to see if that's feasible for this particular house because I like the house very much.
Right. Well, what we can do is we can make an offer for less than the price that it is. What is it? What's the price that the house is? Like
$390.
All right, $390. We can either come in at $380, or we could either just do the $390 and then see what they're standing at. How does that sound to you?
Well, can we start at $375 and you can reduce your commission? Can you do that?
We can start at $375, but I can't reduce my commission. However, if we're doing $375 and you do get the offer, aren't you saving $15,000 over there?
Yeah, but if you reduce your commission instead of 2.5 to 2, then I can get more than that, can I?
Do you want to save more or do you want to make more right now?
Well, I want to save more.
All right, if you're going to save more, then it's at $390 and you want to do $375. Aren't you saving money there? from just the offer that you're gonna make?
Yeah, but I want to buy for the price of beer a champagne. Can that be done?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
All right, I'm gonna throw a yellow flag, all right? I was gonna make a Patriot joke, but somebody just got after me for getting on the Patriots. Mo, what's the probability that they're going to get that house at 375?
Like 0,
Well, why are you driving them off the cliff?
because I just want to be there for like whatever she wants to offer. I'm willing to work with that, and then she can see that the market's not working like that.
Well, I don't see you pushing back. So I'm being a little harder on Mo because Mo's on our team and he's awesome on the phone. So he's got game, so to speak, right? Unlike the Pats. So I would take John.
I'm pretty sure Tampa's Patriots South.
Yeah, so I would probably go in a different direction because I would not. It's okay to take an overpriced listing because what are you gonna? Because you're controlling it. It's not okay to walk a buyer off a cliff in order to like gain their respect. Am I making sense, John? Help me.
Yep, perfect. The way I would have approached it would have gone something like this. Liliana, I appreciate that you want to save money. You're walking down the street and you hear that the house sold and it ended up selling for $385. How do you feel about that?
Well, I really want to see how 375 works, and maybe we can come somehow between 375, 385, you know, as close as to 370. I'll be okay with that.
Okay, so what happens if another buyer likes a house more and they're willing to pay more at the same time and you end up in a competing offer situation?
And at that point, I will try to be 385 then, because, you know, I want the house.
Okay, and I appreciate, and I love two things about this, Liliana. I love the fact that you want the house, and I love the fact that you want to save money on it. The big question comes in is if somebody brings in an offer at the same time and their offer is so compelling that you don't have a second chance, how are you going to feel?
Then I'm going to have to pay a bit more because
Well, we would lose this one. Are you willing to lose this house and take that chance?
My best offer will be to 390.
Wouldn't it make more sense to go in with your best offer, especially in a market like this where prices are still going up, and in 2 or 3 months you may end up paying more?
That's right, you are correct. So I'm gonna start offering 390. So and see if we can get it. That will make me happy.
Okay, wonderful. And then would narrow it down a little bit further and so on.
Yeah, there's other conversation to have. Here's my point, you guys. I don't think you will gain respect by giving them bad advice or letting them drive their car into a ditch on purpose. If you want to gain their respect, help them. Like when she said make an offer, well, let me ask you want to make an offer, or do you want to own the home? And so a lot of that's done in the upfront. So John, nice job on that. So I'll tell you what, we're almost at the top of the hour. We all have things to do. I've got a hard stop here at 2 o'clock. I'm going to thank everyone. So why don't you, John, why don't we get some ahas? What did you hear today was made the hour worthwhile? Thanks for everyone for participating. Let's get some ahas. John, give me 5 or 6 ahas before we go, because the ahas benefit everybody. Don't hang up yet. 5 or 6 ahas. Let's go.
All right, Jill, what do you got? You got to unmute yourself. I'm a good lip reader, not that good.
Really asking the questions to push him back on like the most pain, basically. Like, are you really prepared to lose the house? Are you like kind of making them think by asking questions that remind them what could happen?
Excellent. Jeffrey.
I love the, I understand how much you paid, but what did it cost you?
Awesome. Julie?
Giving the example of going to an extreme. So if you would, so would you accept a commission at 3%? Would you accept a commission at 2%, 1%? How about for free?
Right. Good job.
Awesome. Mo, welcome back from the world of Quarantineville.
I would say not like helping them out, getting the offer that they're like the highest offer they're comfortable with, getting them to do that, not go lower and try to show them that they're not right, whatever.
Okay. Good job, Mo.
Excellent. And last, Al.
Big Al.
Big Al's muted.
I'm sorry. Yeah, getting back to what was said earlier about going, using the example of the extreme, I thought that was very good.
Good job, James. Thank you. James, we wish you the best. Let us know how you do. You've been well trained, well prepared, and you're walking in as little Denny.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right.
Appreciate all the information and support.
Yeah. Be careful out there.